Hey everybody. Today we got a new deck that I've been testing around with. It's fun, but right now in the meta it's kind of like because it gets slowed down by a lot of the cards that are played to stop the tier 1 decks. It's Infernities. So we got 3 Archfiend, 3 Necromancers, um, 2 Street Patrol, but I'm definitely going to change it to 3, and I'll just tell you what card I would cut, which would be actually 1 Summoner Monk. Right now I'm playing 2, but I'd cut it down to 1 and play 3 Street Patrol, just because Street Patrol allows you to continue to make your plays and put more cards on board and search more Infernity cards. That's really the only reason, and Summoner Monk's okay, but um, Street Patrol definitely lets you continue to combo off. And then for the one-of monsters, we just play 1 Gruffer and 1 Armageddon Knight. For spells, we do 2 Instant Fusions, 2 Space Typhoons, 2 Night Beam, just because I like Night Beam, and I mean, I've been trying to give other cards a chance to see a little bit more play, just because, why not? Um, what I would probably consider you to think about is playing Upstart Goblin over Into the Void. The one upside about playing Into the Void is if you have one of those really Monster Clog bad hands that you can Into the Void and then end phase dump your Monster Clog hand, so the next turn you can get your shenanigans rolling. But Upstart sometimes can be a lot better, just because if you Laval Chain top deck an Archfiend, then you can Upstart into it and just special summon him. So I mean, they both have their ups and their downs, but I've just been trying Into the Void. It's okay, but it's only really good like if you draw it early game. And then for the one-up spells, we got 1 Launcher, obviously, Reinforcements of the Army, Card Destruction, just for those really bad hands, and you can kind of just get your plays going. 1 Foolish, 1 Allure, 1 Book, and 1 Reborn. For traps, I've been doing 3 Compulse, just because it's so good. I do 3 Barrier, just because I like the card. I think it's good. If you open up with 1, and you'll realize if you try to play this deck the way that I've been playing it, that you can only really get 2 Archfiend searches off. So, I mean, you're only going to be able to, like, end phase, like, go double Laval Chain and Archfiend and, a couple other random guys, whatever you could do. And then you're only going to be able to search out 2. So I like 3 just in case you open up with 1, and then you can do your plays and you can just end with 3 barriers. Because 3 barriers is pretty devastating. It's only a few decks can come back from that. 2 breaks. Double Mirror Force. I just love this card. Punishes noobs. Call of the Haunted. Warning and Solemn Judgment. And for the extra deck, we play double Laval Chain. You need 2 Laval Chains to play this version. Oh, my bad. 2 Direwolves. You could do 1 Direwolf, but I suggest 2, because you'll realize that Diamond Direwolf is just one of those spot removal cards that's really good with this deck. And not only that, but it can also clear space on your own board, so you can continue to combo off if you want to search, like maybe the last barrier and an extra break or whatever it may be. But I say 2 is probably the best number, but you can get away with just playing 1. Shockmaster. I do double Maestro. There's another card that I'd want to play, but I don't have it. I'll explain it in a minute. 1 Cowboy, 1 Dweller, 1 Corn, 1 Pearl that you have to play just because he beats over pretty much anything that you can't beat over, which is one of the main problems with this deck, is that if they put a stronger monster on board, sometimes it can be harder to get around it. And then one Thantos. I think the last level 4 I was going to play was Evil Sworn. I think it's Nightmare, I want to say, in place of the other Maestro. It's just a high defender, and then whenever your monster summons, I think you can reduce its attack. It's good. He's alright. One Leviair. You might want to try 2. I found out that just usually 1 is all that's really needed. And then 1s and mines. And then for the instant fusion targets, we just got just these guys. It doesn't matter, you can play whatever. Except if you had to choose one, I would say Rare Fish, just because you can do it with Abyss Dweller and just raises his attack. But anything works. That's it for the deck. It's a really good deck. It's fun. I think it's really strong. I'd say in this next format, it'll probably get a little bit better, depending on what happens on the list. The one problem playing this deck this format is definitely the fact that people main deck like triple effect Veilers, triple maxis, Iron Imperial Walls just to combat the meta, which kind of hurts this deck. But other than that, if you go first, it's really good. But against dragons are so toolboxy that it's sometimes going to be hard for this deck to like really combat something like that. Because this is just like one turn, spam the field, put all your cards on the table, and see if their opponent can handle it the next turn, or you're going to win. And if they can, there's not a lot left that this deck can do after it's done like all of its plays. It's just like a first turn, put double Obel Chain on board, maybe a Leviair, and with an Infernity Archfiend on field with two to three barriers set. That's basically what the deck does. And like I said, most rogue decks can't handle it. Another thing is the mirror match. If you ever play this deck and you do play a mirror match, I'm going to tell you right now, it's coming down to whoever wins the dice roll, for sure, or whoever opens up worse, because if you play the mirror match and you go first and you go off, your opponent's lost. It's like there's nothing they can do. But if your opponent goes and they open bad or something, then it is possible to come back. But that's basically it. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. It's a fun deck. It might get better in the future, so that's it.